Trump Vance 2028. Donald Trump did an interview this weekend with NBC over the phone, and he said that a lot of people want him to run for a third term, and that, in fact, there are ways you can do it. Didn't say, of course, because Donald Trump is very light on details. He just likes to spark conversation, get attention, that sort of thing. And that's what he was doing with this comment. This comment, of course, freaked out every single Democrat, every single person who, in the media, everybody, they just completely, they immediately scrambled to their Constitution and typed in 22nd Amendment and then took a deep sigh and sat back in their gamer's chair. The 22nd Amendment only allows the president to run 2 terms. The last president that got more than 2 terms was actually FDR. And the Constitution was changed thereafter. Trump is, of course, a lot of this is Trump and his people trolling the left. It's also putting out flyers, putting out thoughts into MAGA's head. Already there's I believe he's from Tennessee, this Ogles guy, or Ogles. He's a MAGA chud from a MAGA chud state. And he has already, this is the funny part, he's already put legislation in that he wants to change the 22nd Amendment to allow Donald Trump to run for another term. The law that he introduced specifically precludes Barack Obama, then his name is mentioned in the bill, that Barack Obama cannot run for another term. But Trump would be allowed to. And the reasoning is vague and I don't know, some of it's a little bit, it's specious to be non-consecutive terms and all kinds of weird shit and there might have been an election malfeasance but Obama is MAGA's kryptonite. He's black, he's a Democrat, and he's black. Did I mention that he's black? Oh yeah, and did you know that Barack Obama is black? That's why MAGA has such they're so terrified and hate Barack Obama so much. That's why they're willing to accept all of those stupid ass conspiracy theories about Obama. Donald Trump was a birther. These people were birthers, these MAGA people. They didn't believe, only because Barack Obama was black and happened to be born in Hawaii, did they not believe that he was an American citizen. They made up things. I remember the conspiracy theories. There were conspiracy theorists who compared him to King Tut, that he looked just like, or was it one of the pharaohs? Some Egyptian leader, that he was the DNA. They took Egyptian DNA and it was the global elite, the Alex Jones and David Icke and lizard people and all that nonsense, right? I know Alex Jones doesn't do the lizard people thing, but that was all David Icke, and that was real popular in 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, until people were like, wait a minute, he's talking about lizard people? What the fuck is this guy? So anyway, there's a hashtag going around, Obama 2028. And this is making the left doesn't even understand its own history going back not even that far. Jesus Christ. Do you know the president who followed Barack Obama? Do you know who that guy was? Yeah, his name is Donald Trump. Did you know that your neoliberal economic policies were so unpopular with the American people? Your decision with your TARP bailout, and you're letting 3 million homeowners lose their homes and be evicted because of the banking industry, because packaging debt-backed mortgages. Do you honestly remember the Obama administration fondly? You saw your standard of living lower. You saw never mind Libya, never mind Muammar Gaddafi and that cackling psychopath that was Hillary Clinton saying, we saw, he died. Ha ha, laughing about a man being dragged through the streets and sodomized and beaten. So thrilled about the destroying Libya's economy. Now there's open air slavery in Libya. All because Muammar Gaddafi was trying to get Africa their own currency, like the euro. All because he was trying to get away from the debt-based Western system. That's it. That's the threat. And Barack Obama was president during all of this. I mean, the Syrian shit that went down. Barack Obama was president. You can throw in the economic situation in America. Too big to fail was under Barack Obama. I know Bush caused that. I'm well aware of deregulation of the banking industry, getting rid of certain provisions, allowing savings banks to become investment banks, Dodd-Frank. There's all sorts of reasons that the economic collapse of 2008 and 2009 was allowed to happen the way it happened. It's funny how Republican rule always ends in economic chaos. Anyway, but Barack Obama, he went to Goldman Sachs and told them that he's keeping them, he could be the one that keeps the people from storming the castle, so to speak. He was going to protect them. And he was going to bail them out, but he was going to protect the banking industry. He didn't protect us. He didn't give us money directly. He didn't give us breaks on anything. Barack Obama was all in all, a very articulate, very intelligent, very extremely erudite. Oh my God, great speaker, great orator, and had charisma, had riz. He had that coolness, that calmness. And he was also intellectually sound, and he did at one time give some progressive nods. But his administration was not that. His administration, whether you believe this or not, if you're somebody that supports MAGA, did not pull the country to the left. It pulled the Democratic Party to the center even more than it already was. Barack Obama did not try to, hope and change were just words. They weren't actually anything. They didn't mean anything. Barack Obama put a black face on the New World Order, as KRS-One said famously. He put the best face forward of empire. That was Barack Obama. People were willing to accept bombing in other countries. People were willing to accept Zionism. People were willing to accept when there was horrors, when there was a nice face on it. And when there's not a nice face on it, it becomes ugly to those Democrats who found it perfectly fine when Obama did it. And now they want to return back to Obama 2028. And it's a joke. Ha ha ha. It's just a funny hashtag. Or is it? Or do the Democrats really think they have no hope but Barack Obama? A man who was replaced by Donald Trump. And then that man's vice president, Joe Biden, was replaced by Donald Trump. A complete refutation of Obama and Biden's economics and policies. And this is what the liberal Democrats think is funny. This is what Democrats think is like a healthy thing to be. Number one, nobody takes anything seriously anymore. You've noticed that? Everything's a fucking joke or a troll or a meme. Like, fuck, man, this is real life shit. This is like life and death for people. This is bellicose foreign policy. This is a bad economic downturn that's going to hit this country like a fucking sledgehammer. Particularly, you guessed it, the poor and working classes. Barack Obama is a corporatist neoliberal Democrat. I'm glad that everyone finds him so fucking charming that, oh, look, he does a college basketball bracket. Look at that. Oh, look, he's shooting hoops at the local, gives a fuck. Like, oh, look, he and Beyonce and Jay-Z are friends. Right? That's who you want back. You shouldn't want any of them. You're getting wrapped up into a cult of personality. If you're a person that believes that way, you're not listening to me anyway. But man, if anybody's on the fence, fucking A. That gave me douche chills. That was just cringe reading that article. Because you could see the tinge of hope in the article. It's supposed to be a straight up article. You could feel well, you know what? If Barack Obama, maybe we can be proud of our country again as liberals. Maybe we won't have to look in the gaping maw of capitalism that is Donald Trump and understand that he's part of our system. He's actually a product of capitalism. All his little socio and psychopaths that are in his administration are all products of the same capitalism you grew up in. They just have more money, most of them. But they still grew up, they still live in this country. They're still from here. They're no different. Barack Obama is no different. He was an ambitious, empty suit. And he's now gotten away with because Donald Trump is so repugnant to normal society, people that just don't want bigotry, like people that are just like, hey, can we leave gay people? Can we leave DEI? Can we stop with that? Can we leave minorities alone, please? Can we just not do that? Donald Trump is repugnant to them. His face is repugnant. He's an elderly man with his teeth sliding out of his fucking mouth. He looks bizarre. He sounds bizarre. I don't think he has dementia. I just think he's getting old. It happens to every single person. As they get older, they get slower. And he was never the smartest guy in the room anyway. He was just one of the wealthiest and more famous. That's all Donald Trump is. And you Democrats who are like, hashtag Barack 2028, it's the same people that tried to get Michelle Obama to run. What the fuck what is her platform? Putting a garden in the White House? Getting you to eat better? Wearing sleeveless dresses? What exactly is Michelle Obama's shopping? Because every time I see a picture of her, she's got 15 shopping bags in her hand of like high-end shit. Or she's wearing something that costs more than your house. Or a piece of jewelry that costs more than what you make in a year. I'm just curious who these morons are. And I know it's all they have to have. Their Democrats are so fucked right now because they've lost the one thing that they actually had was the working classes, and they could have built on that and built something great for them and decided not to. They wanted to go corporatist and go neoliberal. So now you're stuck. Now you're stuck with trying to convince a bunch of Republicans who will never vote for you and never give you money to vote for you and give you money. So you have to do all of the weird, and you're looking for the middle of the road Republican. That's who you really want, right? That's who Charles Schumer, that's who Hakeem Jeffries wants. They want the person who's, well, you know what? I was a Reagan Democrat, and maybe if I was alive, and I was a Clinton Republican, which are fantasy, which has been a fantasy created by the Democratic Party. But anyway, because Republicans don't vote for Democrats. That's just the way it works. They just generally don't. And you keep seeing this over and over again, and I don't know, Democrats are purposely not learning a lesson so they can stay in power. And so when you see Obama 2028, or you start seeing these dumb hashtags, or people start talking that they're so desperate for a God king, for a leader type, that they're willing to change the Constitution. Not the Constitution stuff that needs to be changed. Like I would change that it should be constitutional to have national referendums. Majority motherfucking rules. We want to vote for abortion to be codified? We don't have to use the Supreme Court. The people of the United States, they vote for it. We want fucking drugs legalized or decriminalized. We want the prison industrial complex lowered and lessened. We want the federal government to stop fucking blah, blah, blah. We could vote for these things, but it's unconstitutional. National referendums are unconstitutional. Referendums in your state and your city and your local counties are fine because the state makes those laws. But the federal government, you never will get to vote for anything with a federal government. Ever. And that would be something I would change in the Constitution, not the 22nd Amendment. In fact, I'd probably get rid of the presidential amendment. I'm not sure which one it is, but any of them that say there has to be a president or a leader, I'd get rid of that one too. I'd just scrap that and be like, yeah, no more CEOs. We're going to more democracy. We'll expand the representatives, expand senators, figure some other things out, localize things, narco-syndicalistic, whatever. That's what I would get rid of, not the 22nd Amendment. And Barack Obama is why you have Trump. Thank you for listening.